Kirsty. So could you tell the people watching what you do for a business?
I think you did a good intro, actually, Nigel, on your social media this morning.
Oh, thank you.
So, in a nutshell, I'm a personal stylist. So I help people to feel really confident about the way that they present themselves to the world. So it's not about following fashions. It's not about faddy fashions. It's not about buying loads of clothes. It's about understanding the styles that work for you, that work for your body shape, that work for your personality, and that mean that you can radiate yourself and radiate your personality when you go out there. Because we all have, when I work with people, people have loads and loads of clothes.
Yeah.
So many clothes, and they only wear a tiny fraction of them.
Yeah.
And so it's wasting their money. It's not great for the environment. So what we really focus on is what works for you, why it works for you. So you really understand why certain shapes, styles just suit you and other things don't. So it makes life a bit easier, and it means that you've got fewer clothes, you buy fewer clothes, buy less, wear more. It's my thing. Buy less, wear more. And so you have a smaller wardrobe, ideally, everything works beautifully, you feel really confident, you don't have that battle with yourself every morning thinking, oh, what am I going to wear? Or, oh my God, I'm going to drinks on Friday night, I've got nothing to wear, I need something new. Or I'm going to a wedding, I've got nothing to wear. Even though we've got all of these clothes, people always go, I've got nothing to wear. You've got wardrobes full of stuff and people still have nothing to wear.
I think you'd be great to join forces with a lady called Jennifer Major. She does something called, basically she declutters people's lives. This is their personal lives. And I took part in one of her challenges. And my challenge was to sort out my wardrobe. Because my wardrobe was that wardrobe you talk about. When you open it and you go, hey, look at all these clothes. But I've got nothing that stands out. So you end up taking out different things going, oh no. And there always ends up being clothes in there that you should throw away because you've had them for more than a decade. But they have this memory. Oh, I wore this when that thing happened. It's like, well, that thing's happened. You know, the clothes are going to bring
fine. If you still want to wear it, if you can style it in a different way,
I don't know.
Great.
I mean, stuff from the 90s doesn't carry. Stuff from the 90s doesn't carry well. As you can imagine, it's a bit faded.
Move it on.
So I did this challenge with her, and I actually stripped my wardrobe out. I aligned it with my values, which I thought was really good. And my value was I need to look sharp. So anything that didn't look sharp or had a bubble, or I was throwing stuff away. What was amazing is I actually found clothes I'd never worn. I still had labels on them.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
I gained a new wardrobe. That's like, whoa, hallelujah. You wait until lockdown's over.
That's the thing, though. So one of the things I do is go and declutter people's wardrobes. So I go in, do a wardrobe review, and there are always, almost without fail, there are always clothes that have still got the labels on. Always always.
What's been the funniest / scariest wardrobe? You haven't got to tell the person, but what's been the funniest / scariest wardrobe you've ever encountered? What made it so?
There was one time, we were doing this online, actually, this was in lockdown, and she had this dress, and I'll just never forget it, because it was something that she'd bought in a moment of madness, like a long, like 20 years previously. I mean, it was an amazing dress, but she'd never worn it, still had the labels on. But it just had, again, I think it was what you were saying about the memory. Like, it had a memory of where she was when she bought it. I think she was overseas and blah, blah. Anyways, it hung in the wardrobe, taking up space. And she put it on. And I can't quite remember how she described it, but she was kind of like, it was one of those dresses that you really have to pour yourself into, right? and there was nobody really to help with the zip, and because we were online, so I wasn't there. And she just kind of said, oh my God, I just feel like I've put on a giant condom. And then she couldn't get out of it.
Hey, this is before the watershed, you can't say words like that.
Say that. And I was just in bits, and she just couldn't get out of this dress, and there's like nobody to help her because I'm miles away.
It's like that though. I think our own kind of, I suppose there's a degree of vanity. I mean, I'm gonna let you into a little secret.
Go on.
For a long time, I thought my feet were size 9. the reality is they're size 11.
Nice.
So I was squeezing my little piggies, or my big piggies, into little shoes. And vanity got to me one day. I wanted some coloured trainers. I ended up buying 3 pairs, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 red. Size too small for me. So I wear these trainers literally for an hour and have to take them off because I'm in pain. They look so good.
No, I'm all about comfort, Nigel. I'm all about comfort. But sizing is quite difficult. And I see I'm pointing my pen at you now.
So I know. I feel bad. Sorry.
This is lesson. So sizing is quite interesting, and women particularly have real difficulty in identifying clothing sizing between
Yes.
stores because they vary so much.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And we have a hang up, women, about what size clothes we are. So what I would say is ignore the sizing. Nobody knows what label is on the inside of your dress or your shirt.
Exactly.
If you're that bothered about it, cut it out. What you should be doing really is your body measurements. So do your bust measurement, waist, hip, inside leg, whatever, and look at the size guides on the different websites. Particularly if you're online shopping, which we've obviously been doing a lot of over the last year. So look at your body measurements and how that translates to a particular brand. And a lot of sites now, they put on extra information, so like where sizes are coming up big or small based on customer feedback. You can also ask them if it's a new brand, just email them or get on the chat and say, what is your sizing like? Does it come up big? Does it come up small? But if you know your measurements, that's a much better guide than just saying I'm a size 10 or I'm a size 16, because they just vary. They just vary too much. Because that's how guys shop, right? Guys shop with...
Yeah, you say that though, but I mean...
they do vary.
Yeah, I've been into certain stores where they're saying... Because I'm a 32 waist. Maybe even a 31. But I've been into stores and tried to get into a pair of their 32s. And it's like, I don't know who they're made for, but they're not made for men. Or they're made for a very strange shaped man. Because, I mean, these jeans literally ain't even going up my thighs. I mean... I haven't got particularly big legs. I don't play football anymore. But yeah, sizes are crazy. There's a funny story behind the size, but we'll talk about it after the live. So, boom. Let's see if we've got any questions. Oh, we can talk. I think I've known you for years.
No, we just chat. Yeah. The other thing about sizing, while you're just checking the questions, is my other tip for people is, again, it's about wardrobe space, really. Very often people hang on to things that don't fit them anymore, either too big or too small. And because, we fluctuate. Hey, last year we've all fluctuated, most of us. So what I would say is don't keep anything in your wardrobe that doesn't fit you right now. So move it, just put it under the bed, put it in a box, put it in the garage, whatever. Make sure that the things that are in your wardrobe right now actually fit you right now. Because otherwise you're opening your wardrobe every morning and going, I can't wear half of that. And it's just annoying and can be a bit depressing. So just shove it under the bed and then bring it out later.
You're like, it's like you've been to my house.
I haven't.
I'm just thinking of that particular shirt that I bought that looked really nice, and I thought, don't fit me now, but I'm going to get to the size where it will fit me. And that was probably 4 years ago. Anyway, let's move on. Alison. Alison says red is a very hard colour to wear. Can anybody wear it?
Yeah.
She has to feel confident to wear it.
Funny you should say that. So red. So I'm wearing red today. Well done, Alison. I actually was feeling a bit ropey this morning. I was a bit flat. Got quite a lot going on in life, and so I was just a bit kind of like, And actually, I was like, one of the ways for me to deal with that is, okay, get up, take the dogs out, have a healthy breakfast, blah blah blah. But actually, one of the ways to do that is to put on some colour. Boom. And red is one of those colours that instantly it raises my energy.
Boom.
And so I went red lips. I put on some massive earrings because why not?
Statement. I'm here, man. I'm here today.
Instantly feel better. So colour can be a real mood changer, and that's great. So red. I've got my drapes here actually. So one of the other things that I do as part of the personal styling is colour analysis.
Okay.
So colour analysis, in a nutshell, is working with people to determine the tones of colours that work best with their natural skin tone. So it's not about saying, like Alison's question, can I wear red? Everybody can wear red.
Yeah.
But there's red and there's red, you know, so you get a kind of purpley, more crimsony red, or you can get a very orangey pillar box red.
Yeah.
And those reds will suit different skin tones.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's part of the color analysis process. Interestingly enough, what we during the color analysis process, we look what we're looking at using all of these. I've got 144 drapes here. I'm just going to hold up a few of them. They happen to be reds and pink. So using our magic drapes and our intense training, what we're determining is the undertones of your skin. So it's not about skin color, it's not about melanin, it's about the subcutaneous fat layer. And we're determining whether or not you have a more yellow-based complexion or a more blue-based complexion. And that then determines, I'm yellow-based, so my reds need to be quite orangey, so at the orangey yellower end of the spectrum, and other people's would be at the pinkier end. But so what we're doing is we're determining, are you predominantly yellow-based or are you predominantly blue-based? And so throughout this process, we then determine the best tones of colors. So everybody can wear green, everybody can wear red, everybody can wear blue, everybody can wear purple, but it's about the shades of those colors, right? Because they're very different. Like, so greens, let's just take two greens. So green, it probably doesn't show up that well on the screen.
No, you can see the difference.
You know, these are all greens, but they're all totally. And that's
I like the green on that. I like the green on your right, the far right, that pastely green. That's nice.
The pastely one.
Yeah.
So it's about that. Now, red is an interesting one because it goes back to primary colours. So you've got red, yellow, and blue, and what we're looking at in the skin tone is the yellow and the blue balance.
Yeah.
But primary red, obviously doesn't contain any blue or any yellow. No. So actually, if you haven't had your colours analysed, primary red is a really good colour for everybody to wear because it doesn't contain blue or yellow. It might not be your very, very best red, but it's a really good red. If you think about Virgin cabin crew,
yeah,
they all wear primary red, and they look
striking, don't they?
All of them. There's nobody that looks bad.
Kirsty, I'm pretty amazed at what you're saying to me. It's like, you know, most people just say, "Oh, I like that, put it on," out they go. And some of the things what you're sharing here, excuse me, wow, so deep. Alison said she's got loads of clothes, but she just said this is fab, and I think it's because when people hear that someone is a consultant, fashion consultant, it's very strange. It's very hard then to think out, well, what do they do? Because everyone's heard of a personal shopper, but you're so much more and so much different to a personal shopper. I mean, tell me what inspired you to get involved in this business?
So I went through the process myself. So 5.5 years ago, I rocked up at one of the consultants' houses, Jane Brooke, fabulous. Just saw her yesterday, actually, fabulous consultant, still really good friends and now colleagues. I walked up on her doorstep for a colour analysis session. I had just decided to treat myself, basically. I lived in black and grey. I really loved colour, but never wore it. I wasn't confident with clothes. I wasn't confident with style. I tried to kind of follow what other people were doing. And you know, I changed my hair color. I don't even get me started on hair color. It's literally been everything from blue.
That's why I've got no hair. I kept dyeing mine.
Going natural.
Natural.
So anyway, I walked up, did this color analysis, and I was just like, I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed. I was like, oh my life, this is starting to make sense. And then I went through the personal styling process, and that's when it really clicked. I was like, right, that is why that dress or whatever has been hanging in my wardrobe for 4 years and I've never worn it, or when I put it on I just feel a bit meh. And it just clicked, and so then I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And so then I went personal shopping with Jane, because that's something else that we offer to clients, and it was like nothing, like literally everything she picked up, I just put it on and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And it's not stuff that I would necessarily have picked up or had the confidence to pick up, and it just changed everything. And so I then took a succession of like friends and family members to Jane to do the same kind of process. and they all loved it. And so then I was just thinking, well, maybe I could do this. And Jane had kept saying to me, I think you'd be an amazing consultant. Like, I think people would really get you. You've got the energy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you have. I mean, good grief. I mean, I'm sat here, I'm just thinking, wow. Honestly, I can see why you do well. And no, it's not that. It's because you're so informative. You know, I've never looked at clothes and colours and thought, I've always kind of said, oh, that looks all right. Got mirror. But you're right. I've got that same item home and I've never worn it again because it's that thing of, I ain't too sure about this. And blimey hell. So basically, your journey started from you going through the whole process yourself.
Yeah.
So all of your friends and family are like fashion, they're like star bunnies, man. Like,
it really is about the confidence. You know, it's not about clothes. I mean, it is, you know, I suppose it is about clothes, but it's about giving you the confidence to dress in a way that you feel is authentic to yourself. So you feel that you're representing you feel comfortable, and you don't have that kind of, you know, that feeling when you've got something on and you're just not quite right with it, and it's just horrible.
Men get that. Men do get that as well. Men do.
Oh, they do.
That as well.
Yeah, no, they do. Yeah, this is for men and women. I mean, you know, naturally I work mostly with women, but it's for everybody. Literally, it's for everybody.
Yeah. Ooh, I tell you what. Anyway,
you'll be in my chair, Nigel. Before long. Great.
What are my colours? So, how long have you had the? Hi, Katie Jenkins Robinson. Thanks for joining us. I'm assuming she's a friend of yours.
Don't recognise the name. Should I recognise the name?
Well, thanks for joining us anyway, Katie Jenkins Robinson. If you've got any questions for Kirsty, feel free to throw them in. So in terms of the business, how long have you been House of Colour? How long have you had it?
Only since last year.
Okay.
So did my training in January and February. It's a pretty intensive training process.
Just before the madness started.
Just before the madness. So I launched officially on the 1st of March 2020.
Oh my God.
I know, right? Talk about timing.
Well, you're still here.
Still going strong.
And what kind of challenges have you had to overcome then with the business? Because obviously launching 3 weeks before lockdown is, with hindsight, probably ain't the smartest thing, but hey, who would have known it would come to that?
Who knew? So challenges have been, well, nobody was really thinking about clothing in lockdown. We were all living in tracksuits. Challenges, obviously, when we do colour analysis, we have to see people face to face. You can't do it on, as you've seen. I've held drapes up; they look totally different on screen.
Yeah.
Your face.
I could see the contrast, but yeah, next to
it doesn't translate. So you have to do it in person, in natural daylight. So obviously, we couldn't do any colour analysis during periods of lockdown, which is a shame. But you can do personal styling, because that you just need to see shapes. And so as long as somebody's got a computer screen or a phone screen, clothes, and some relatively decent lighting, you can do personal styling, and you can do online shopping. So we've done a lot of personal styling and online shopping for people during lockdown, and then obviously as soon as we've reopened, colour analysis has just been like absolutely mental, which is great. And it's been so great to actually see people in person, and lots of people that I've worked with during lockdown online doing personal styling, they came for colour analysis, and it was literally the first time we'd met in person, but we kind of didn't think it was, because we'd like chatted so much online, and sessions online, and like somebody turns up at the door and you go, oh my God, it's great to meet you in person. And like,
you're real. Yeah, that happened to me. I sat there. I met up with John Koss from JC Cybersecurity.
Yeah,
we've only met online, and we met up in Stourbridge. And we had a few jars and ate a bit of food, and we chortled. We chortled for 5 hours. We chortled and chortled.
Amazing.
Got home. I was a little bit tipsy, but it was good. It was really, really, really fun. Wow. So this is my favourite. In fact, let me just see, make sure we've got any more questions coming yet, because I do come. Alison mentioned next for her comes up 2 sizes too big.
Next.
And for her it's length, because she's only 5 foot.
She's only Diddy.
She's only a little cutie. That's cute. That's a cute size, that is, Alison. There's nothing wrong with
you. Probably need petite, Alison. Petite is for petite sizes. Generally, it's kind of around 5'1"-ish. I can't remember how tall she is, but 5'1", 5'2". You probably want petite. Lots of places do different and different lengths of trousers and skirts and stuff now. Lots of places offer different lengths. But if sizes are coming up big, just get your measurements, just do your measurements and go on the measurements.
It must be a nightmare being a clothes manufacturer, really, when you think of like different shapes and sizes of people.
Well, the thing is, I'll give you a history lesson now. So it started when clothes became off the peg, right? So we used to make our own clothes, like way back in the day. Yeah. Clothes were made to measure. And then, ready to wear started to come into the market, kind of early kind of 1900s, I think. Anyway, and so we had to, the men, obviously, who were running the businesses back then. Sure. Don't get me started on that.
I'm on your side, man.
The men who were running the business, and anybody would have had to have done it. They had to come up with a kind of formula for set sizes and set body shapes to develop off the peg. Let me just.
And obviously that would have changed over the last 100 and whatever years because of like, the way we eat, the food we have. We are definitely more bulky than we've been for a long time.
Yeah.
And taller, and some of us are carrying excess bits on their feet. So.
Yeah, you and your feet.
I'm a size 9. I'm a size 11. I'm a size 9.
No, but this is why it's really important. So measurements is really important, but understanding shapes. So we are all a shape. We're not talking about weight here. We're talking about physically what shape you are.
Yeah. Like a pear or an apple, or
we're a skeleton. Some of us are bigger across the top. Some of us are bigger across the bottom. Some of us are not. Some of us have a waist. Some of us are very, very straight. And so part of the styling process is understanding the shapes of clothes that work best for you. So, I mean, it's very general, but, if you're a straighter body shape, you might need straighter clothing. We need to layer the personality on top of that. So it does alter that slightly. It's not quite as straightforward as that, but you can't if you think about a very curvy body, there's no point trying to cram it into something that's really straight, because it's not gonna hang properly. You need to honor the curve, right? So you need to
honor the curve.
Honor the curve. Honor the curve. Don't try and hide the bits that you don't like either. Doesn't work. When we try and hide, we're just adding volume and size generally. So we need to honor the shape, honor the curve.
Oh, rather. Alison, oh my gosh. Alison's great grandfather was a tailor.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
Amazing.
Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions for Kirsty, please feel free to ping them across. Kirsty, it's my favourite question. This is I'll get you on the spot. God. Tell us one thing about you that not many people know.
Oh God, do you know I hate these sorts of questions.
It ain't gotta be too personal. keep your dark secrets to yourself.
Not many people know. I did a music degree at university, so I play piano. Although I have to say, don't ask me to play the piano now, because I haven't played it it's sitting right there looking very beautiful.
Hey,
honestly, haven't played it for such a long time. It's terrible. It's so awful.
Gosh, I'm jealous. Musicians to me are just like, if you're a musician to me, you just. It's my brother's a pianist. He's a self-taught pianist, and I think he played at the Audi A1 launch in Germany. But I just love it. I just love the power of it. That's power. Being able to play an instrument is power. You can put people at ease. You can make them happy. Obviously, Lincoln Knoll.
Do I?
You may have done. He's the. No, if you don't know him, then you once you meet Lincoln, he's very, very memorable. I'm gonna connect you guys. Well, I'll get him to get you playing again when you two can do a duet.
Honestly, I'm so bad now. It's just in fact, I don't even know why I used that as an example, because I've really put myself under pressure now. Because it's
yes, you have. Right, all of Kirsty's friends who are watching this, I want you to get her to play the piano and record it and put it on Facebook so we can see.
Oh no, I'm really regretting doing this interview now. I might just be losing my internet connection. I
froze. Strike a pose. What 3 bits of advice would you give somebody who wanted to start a business right now? I mean, obviously you've been through, I mean, you started before craziness happened. You're still here, you're thriving. You look like you're having a lot of fun. I mean, I've checked out your Instagram and you just look really, everything, you just look sharp everywhere. You just, king, king. You should have your own theme tune. That's what you could do. Yeah, but you could do the piano version. Ding, 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 ding. Honestly, seriously, I'm telling you now, that needs to be your theme tune. Sorry, Mark Morrison, we're nicking your tune.
Oh dear.
But honestly, you're so like bam, bam, bam. It's like you can tell that you know how to dress. You can tell. So anyone who's listening who isn't following Kirsty right now, because Kirsty's going to put all of her links are going on the comments, in the comments. Please go and follow her. Go and see what she's about. You'll be in awe of how she presents herself, and she can do that for you. It's like, yeah. So if somebody wanted to start a business right now, what 3 bits of advice would you give them? What would you say? Hey, make sure you do this, this, and this.
I think, gosh, the last year has just been an absolute whirlwind. I think the thing that I would say is have a plan. So have a plan. And yes, we have to, obviously the last year has shown us that we need to be able to, lots of people using the word pivot or diversify or whatever. But in terms of kind of like where you're taking the business, and particularly in terms of kind of marketing and what you're saying to people, have a plan and kind of stick to it. And even if that plan has to, even if circumstances massively change and we have to change the plan, have a plan. Because what I discovered, and particularly when we were in periods of lockdown, is you can be a bit of a magpie and you can think, oh, that looks like a really good idea, I'm going to try and do that, or that looks like a really good idea. And it's very easy to get distracted and start to go down rabbit holes that actually can be quite time consuming and aren't actually doing the right thing. So particularly when things are so weird as they have been, it's almost even more important to give yourself that time to step back and look back at the plan and think, okay, what in that plan do I need to put on hold because I literally can't do, I physically cannot do it at the moment. And what are the things that I need to change? But what does that plan then need to look like, rather than kind of being a bit, than being a bit like that. Really know your numbers. That's another thing that I would say. Understand your numbers. Where is the money? Like what is it that is going to make this business successful? And really focus on that. And I think the other thing I would say is that for a business like mine, your clients are everything. Because your clients are, I mean, that's the best bit, quite frankly.
That's the fun part, isn't it? That's the fun part.
You know, and seeing them become more confident, and when you get the photos and they send you images of them out and about and they're just absolutely loving it. So really nurture those relationships with clients. Make sure that your kind of aftercare is, like I always say, that I'm your stylist for life. So yes, you come to me for color analysis and your personal styling, but it's not like you come here for a few hours and then that's it, cheerio, off you go. I'm there all the time for advice. I'm there to take you shopping. You know, it's an, like I still go shopping and pay my consultant Jane to come shopping with me sometimes, because you just need that. Sometimes it's just helpful to have that kind of something that's just going to push you slightly out of your comfort zone.
I think that's fantastic, because you're creating a community of clients, male and female, who they've got someone to connect with. And obviously it goes beyond just clothes. It becomes a friendship, which means that you're then someone who's there to support them and to kind of guide and help. And so what, I mean, in terms of what was you doing before this? Because you come across as a real kind of business level-headed kind of CEO type. What was you before?
Oh, it's all the blab, isn't it? I do actually still work. So I still work. I'm a project manager. My background is actually kind of communications, stakeholder engagements, people, basically.
I thought it was something high level like that. I could just tell. You're kind of dripping authority and kind of knowledge. And guys, you've got to connect with Kirsty Mack. Seriously, she will blow your mind, improve your wardrobe, and give you an education about how you can
thanks,
look
Nigel.
and feel good. So we come to the end, or almost. Is there anything that the people watching can do to help you right now?
Oh wow. Help me. Just share things, get in touch. Follow on Insta at colour.style.confidence. I'll put it in the
comments.
In the comments afterwards. Yeah, I think if you're just get in touch. Like if you're having, if you've got questions or if you've got issues that you're having with clothing, wardrobe, confidence, that sort of thing. Just get in touch and let's have a chat and learn a bit more about it and how it can help. I will honestly say it's the best investment that I ever made in myself. It was life-changing, and actually over the years it saved me money, because now when I buy something I wear it a lot.
I suppose you're buying now with intention rather than that looks okay at
just
this moment in time.
Accidentally maybe sometimes getting the right thing, and 90% of the time not. So just get in touch, connect, and if you've got a business, if you're like a local, I'm based in Stourbridge, if you've got a local kind of boutique or wedding dress shop or anything that involves working with clients in terms of clothing, body shape, that kind of thing. Also hairdressers is quite an interesting one, because with the colour analysis, we talk about hair colour a lot. So again, yellow, blue based, warm toned, cool toned, it works for hair colour as well. So always really interested to work with other local businesses that have maybe a similar client base, and we can share expertise, share knowledge, and basically bring a bigger offer to clients. So what is it that we can do for our clients?
Give them that complete, as opposed to pieces of.
Definitely.
That's fantastic. Hey, Melanie Martin, thanks for joining us. Let's hang around for 30 seconds to see if we get any more questions. This has been really, really informative.
We've been on for like 40 minutes, Nigel.
I can't believe it's that long. I mean, good grief. It's been really, really informative. And I think, anyone who's watched this who didn't kind of understand colours and how they can kind of complement or not complement you. Because, like I say, we all have that feeling of, I've been out before and put stuff on and gone out, and I've kind of stood there kind of feeling a bit kind of stiff, and, I feel a little bit like I shouldn't be here because of what I've got on. So I completely get that. Any more questions? Any more questions? No?
If people put them in their comments afterwards, I can always
put them in the comments. Reach out to Kirsty. She's going to drop all of links in the comments below. Thank you so much today, Kirsty. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, thanks for having me. It's been great fun. What a great way to spend the morning.
Fantastic. Right, people, have a fantastic day. Have a wonderful week.